Two Broke Betters, presented by Garrett Hollenbach and Dallas Walker.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to episode 12 of Two Broke Betters. The madness is here. As if we didn't already have enough in championship week with all the conference tournaments, March Madness has started. I know we're both very excited. I'm Garrett, and this is my co-host, Dallas.
Yo.
Today, we're going to talk about mostly the close, what are projected to be the close matchups, maybe a couple upsets, but none of these huge spreads. There's not really a point in us talking about Gonzaga playing against, I think it was Georgia State, some of those games where it's like 25-point spreads. So starting out, team I've liked the last week or so, Memphis against Boise State. Memphis, I expect for them to come out with a chip on their shoulder in this game. Boise State, they're a little hot. They won their conference tournament, but they didn't really score the ball too well in those few games in their conference tournament. These teams sort of match up really well together, both lengthy, athletic, going to hustle on the defensive end. I think Memphis comes out with the win here. I'm going to go with Memphis minus 2.5.
Starting off on the wrong page here. I'm actually with Boise State on this one plus 2.5. Like you said, these teams are very similar. The thing that stood out to me is Boise is kind of similar to Houston, maybe not as efficient on offense, but they rebound just as well as Memphis. Slows the tempo down a lot, and I think my favorite stat from them was actually their record against the spread away from home, which was 10-3. So I do like this Boise team, especially coming hot off this tournament win. But Memphis is a scary one. Memphis is scary.
Yeah, both of them have very solid against the spread statistics, with Memphis being on fire against the spread over the last month and a half or so. So this one was a very tough one for me to choose between. I just like Memphis as of late. Moving on to the next one. This one is a matchup I think features polar opposites right now. Marquette, North Carolina. Marquette is limping into the tournament with a record of 4-5 and 2-7 against the spread since the start of February. North Carolina, on the other hand, is 9-3 and 8-4 against the spread since the start of February. My deciding factor in this one, I think Justin Lewis is a great player from North Carolina, or from Marquette, but I think the biggest part of this is Armando Bacot against Marquette. Marquette does not have the size to stop him down low, and I think he will feast against this Marquette team that likes to run sort of a small ball lineup. So I'm going to take UNC minus 3 here.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like you said, Marquette struggling, regressing really bad. And, I mean, UNC was red hot until they ran into the ACC champion. So I'm not going to hold that one against them because they ran into a team that was just a little bit hotter than them. So I'm with you, UNC minus 3.
Okay, there we go. Next game, this one has a pretty large spread. Me and Dallas both wanted to talk about our teams. Kentucky, St. Peter's, Thursday night. I don't know. I think this team sort of plays into Kentucky's hand. St. Peter's almost averages 15 turnovers a game. On top of that, their assist to turnover ratio was negative. I think they have 50 fewer assists on the season than they do turnovers, which will play definitely into Kentucky's hand. They like to get out, get on the fast break, find open shooters, find people in transition. That's how they've dominated teams this year. So I'm going to go with Kentucky minus 17.5. I really think the shooters for Kentucky played their worst games of the season in the SEC tournament, and I think they're going to be refocused and ready to play in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I was just gonna let you talk on this one. Just so you know, I'm all in on Kentucky after what St. Peter's did to me earlier this year. I'll probably be wearing a big Blue Nation shirt. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, there we go. Next matchup, another SEC team featured in this one, Vermont and Arkansas. The Catamounts of Vermont have been dominant as of late. I know they won their conference championship by like 40 points against UMBC. Vermont leans on their two big men. Now, they're not really big men. They're, I think, 6'6" and 6'7". But that's not a problem. It would be against most high major Division I opponents. But Arkansas's big man is Jalen Williams, who's maybe 6'8" or 6'9". And Arkansas runs a very small ball lineup. So I think that's going to go in Vermont's favor. And I think if you want to pull off an upset or play close against a very big opponent, you need to hit threes. And 3 out of Vermont's top 4 scorers shoot above 41% from 3. So I'm going to take Vermont +5 in this one.
I know we were talking before this game, and I was kind of like, yeah, I like Vermont a little bit. I looked a little bit more at the stats, and I do actually like Arkansas -5. Like UNC, red hot coming into the tournament, and they just ran into someone like UNC a little bit hotter. The thing that stuck out to me the most was the strength of schedule. And I know it's going to be like this for a lot of the little teams, but Vermont has just not played anyone near Arkansas's level. And I mean, it's pretty drastic. So I do like Arkansas. I like these SEC teams coming in here.
Yeah. I like the SEC's chances. I'm not saying Arkansas is not going to win. I just think Vermont will keep this one close.
Yeah.
Because they're a senior-led team. They have the experience. And they definitely have the talent to come in here and make this one a game. Moving on to the next one. This one's another one I really like. San Francisco and Murray State. Whenever I was looking at this one, neither one of these teams have played an insane strength of schedule. But anytime you have a team that has this many wins, 30-2 for Murray State, they have to be doing something right. Only 2 losses on the season. You see these other teams. I mean, Gonzaga lost to St. Mary's. All these top teams have piled up losses on the season. Murray State has lost twice all year. They have the experience. They just went to the tournament a few years ago with John Moran on the team. So a bunch of those players were on that roster. I'm going to take Murray State -1.5 here.
I like that pick. I actually went with the under 137 in this one. Both of these teams have top 40 defenses. San Francisco usually has a super high pace of play, but when they get into these bigger games, like I watched them play Gonzaga earlier in the year, they just slow the tempo down. They really don't want you to run on them. And so I like that. And also, both of these teams' unders away from home hit at a 75% clip, which is pretty staggering for both of these teams to be doing that. So, especially with their first game, always can be a struggle fest. So, yeah, I like under 137.
Okay. Yeah, I like that pick too. Moving on to the next one. I know a lot of people are going to be focused in on this one. Sister Jean and Loyola Chicago return to the NCAA tournament to face Ohio State. Sister Jean seems to be the biggest good luck charm in all of March Madness over the last 5 years, pulling off insane upsets, insane runs. This time that they don't have Porter Moser coaching. It's what's his name? Denzel Valentine's brother. I think it's Drew Valentine coaches Loyola Chicago now. They're led by mostly their guard play. But you know what? I think everyone loves this Loyola Chicago team a little bit too much. I think they've looked at their success in the past, and I think they've seen what Ohio State did last year, where they burnt out extremely early against Oral Roberts. I don't think Ohio State makes that same mistake this year. I think they're going to feed EJ Liddell over and over and over again, and I've got Ohio State minus the half a point.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But I'm with the fans. I'm with Sister Jean. I'd marry her if I could.
Oh, my God.
Ohio State has lost their last 4 out of 5. They just lost to Penn State. Both of these teams play at about the same pace. Both of them have very efficient offenses. There's just a couple of key differences. Loyola rebounds a little bit better. It's not much better. One of them's ranked, Loyola is ranked in like the 60s and Ohio State's in the 80s. But the clear edge is Loyola's defense, and that is a much better defense. Now, it could very well be because Ohio State was playing a lot better offenses this year. I will give that. But stats are stats. I got to go with it. I got to rock with Sister Jean.
All right.
She doesn't have much time left. She's got to see him win another one.
Okay, we didn't have to go there. Yeah, that's one I'm not going to argue at all. But Sister Jean is she'll will Loyola Chicago to an Elite Eight somehow this year. On to the next one. Dallas's team, Auburn against Jacksonville State. Auburn, they were everyone's Final Four like lock midway through the season. They've sort of burnt out towards the end of the year. I could see them going to the Final Four or an Elite Eight, or I could see them losing in the round of 32. But what I will say, I am boycotting Jacksonville State. They should not be in this tournament. This should be Bellarmine playing against Auburn. This is another example of how corrupt the NCAA is. It took them forever to get the NIL for all the athletes. Now they won't let Bellarmine in the tournament. This is outrageous. Auburn, alternate spread, minus 28.5. They will make sure that it's, I mean, this is, if you think about it, this is the clash of the Titans because it's the NCAA getting their way with Jacksonville State getting to play against Bruce Pearl, the anti-NCAA. He will get like 5 probations in the middle of this game and win by 30.
Yeah, you said it best. It's an absolute travesty. I mean, Bellarmine playing their hearts out, and they just get screwed. It doesn't even make sense. I will say, last time I heard of an Auburn-Jacksonville State matchup was in Division I football when they took us into overtime. I hope that doesn't happen with this. I will say I saw a pretty glaring stat. Auburn is 12-0 against Jacksonville State all time. So this is an upset for anyone. You might stray away from it now. I like Auburn, obviously. We need Katie Johnson to go 2 of 14 instead of 0 of 14. That would be really nice. Other than that, everybody else just do their thing. Don't take this team too lightly and cover the spread.
All right. I'm not actually taking minus 28.5. I'm going to take the minus 15.5.
I might do the minus 28.5.
But Jacksonville State should not be in this tournament.
They shouldn't. We're playing for Bellarmine.
Exactly. On to the last game we're going to speak about, Virginia Tech and Texas. All right, I'm going to go really in depth here. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Devin Askew is on Texas. I'm taking Virginia Tech plus 1.5.
Yes, sir.
Dallas, your pick?
I actually had the over 123.5 for this one. These are 2 very efficient offenses, which was very surprising for me to see, especially with Texas, but they are. I think it's because they were clicking towards the end, especially Virginia Tech. They were really clicking. And even Texas, they put up a good amount of points against West Virginia and TCU, who both have solid defenses. I think they kind of just got burned out before the tournament, facing Baylor and Kansas right before the tournament. And so, yeah, I like that over 123.5. And also, I had no clue, or I did have a clue because it came right to my mind when I was watching Virginia Tech play, and I see this little white kid at point guard, and I'm like, I know him. It's the dude from Wofford.
Yes.
I totally forgot he went there.
Storm
I love
Murphy.
him. I love him.
Storm Murphy. All right, there's our picks with those. Next, we're going to run through a little bit, 2 teams each, of who we think could be upsets in the round of 64. We went 12 seeds and higher. I mean, it doesn't make sense to do like a 9-8 or something like that. I started out with South Dakota State over Providence. I think the luck runs out. It already did. They got destroyed by Creighton. But another, like Murray State, South Dakota State has not lost since December 8th. On top of that, like I said, I think you need to shoot threes to upset somebody. They shoot 45% as a team from 3. Not like 4 players. The whole roster on average shoots 45% from 3. That is insane. On top of that, I'm going to try not to butcher this name. Baylor Shireman. I just wrote down bucket. 16.2 points per game, 7.8 rebounds, 4.6 assists. He does it all. So I'm going to go South Dakota State to upset the Providence Friars. And then my other one I don't think too many people are big on. I think this one's more of the long shot pick between the two, because I think quite a few have Illinois causing some upsets and going to the Elite Eight or the Final Four. I'm going to go with the Chattanooga Mocs over Illinois. I think Chattanooga has great guard play, which helps out in upsets, keeping the game close. They've got David John Baptiste. I got some names on these teams. This is ridiculous. David John Baptiste, and it's not even over. This one's not as bad. Malachi Smith, the 2 leading scorers for Chattanooga, are their 2 guards. And then on top of that, they sort of do have someone to cancel out. Not really cancel out. They're not the same size, but he's got the experience. Here we go again. Silvio De Sosa. And if you don't remember who that is, he was a big man at Kansas. I think it was against Kansas State, where they got in a big brawl and he went and grabbed a chair and tried to break it over somebody's back. So at the worst, if Kofi's giving him work and has 25 points, he'll at least go get a chair out of the crowd and beat him over the head with it. So I'm going to take Chattanooga here. Chattanooga and South Dakota State are my 2 picks for upsets in the round of 64.
I like those a lot. Mine, we're going to start out UAB money line over Houston. One name you need to know, Jordan Walker.
Hey, give him his respect.
Sorry, Jelly Walker.
Jelly Walker.
He's crazy. Another thing I would like to say is Houston's strength of schedule has not been great this year. We've seen what happens when they do play decent teams, besides Memphis. But yeah, so I'm gonna rock with UAB. My second one is it's like yours. I haven't heard a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people like UConn, but I'm actually going to be on the New Mexico State money line. They both have similar play styles. UConn's strength of schedule is garbage, so it's pretty similar to New Mexico State. This New Mexico State team has a very experienced team, all juniors and seniors. A couple of them play at some bigger D1 schools like in the Big Ten. And their coach is a very good coach. He's won their conference like 3 of the past 5 years, and then got second and third in 2 other years. So I'm on this New Mexico State team.
Okay, there it is. There are Dallas's picks: Jelly, Walker, and UAB to knock off Houston, as well as the New Mexico State, I think, Aggies.
I believe so.
Yeah, to knock off UConn. Let's give everybody a couple of our favorite picks just real quick. Some of mine, I like UNC -3. I like Kentucky -17.5. Murray State -1.5, and then Ohio State -0.5 point.
Okay. One of my favorites, Loyola money line.
Okay.
Virginia Tech, Texas over 123.5. And the last one is going to be, I'm going to go rock with you and UNC.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like that Virginia Tech pick. It's not for the same reasons, but.
Okay.
All right. Well, there are our picks for the round of 64. We gave you a couple upset picks as well. I'm super excited for March Madness. I know Dallas is super excited for March Madness. I hope everybody else has a great week, a great weekend, enjoying the round of 64 and round of 32, and hope everyone's teams have success, unless those teams happen to be St. Peter's or the winner of San Francisco Murray State. So remember to follow us on social media at Two Broke Betters. We post our picks there daily. Dallas has also got some NBA picks for you. We don't post videos about that right now, but if you enjoy NBA basketball, he has those picks ready for you.
I do.
All right. Hope everybody has a great week.
Love you.
On McGee with 4. Kemba Walker. Step